All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome on into the Raiderland World Headquarters, where we've got this blast of light coming in that rarely happens, maybe a couple of times a year. The sun has to be right, the clouds have to be right, and I didn't hang anything up behind me, so I apologize tonight for not having that there. But I think we'll be able to get through it tonight. So we got a lot of stuff going on Friday. Most Texan thing you have done this week. Also, this week we ask you to pretty simply replace a one word in a movie title with the word Lubbock and go from there. Tech baseball, Arizona State, Arizona. Weather delay. Texas Tech softball, more importantly, playing for a Big 12 title this weekend. Weather delay at Rocky Johnson Field. So there's some storms tracking across 84, Highway 84, and that area coming kind of into North Lubbock. Keeping an eye on that. It's been severe by Littlefield, Muleshoe in that area. So they're in a weather delay. I don't think they're going to play tonight until probably, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock. Could be another hour and a half before they get everything going. So that gives us time to talk about Tech softball and baseball. NFL draft day 2 is underway. We can review your favorite team's draft. So a lot of fun on a Friday night. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks to United Supermarkets. Get in on the chat line tonight, whether it is on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, or it could be on our Facebook page, where a lot of people hang out there on Facebook. So let's get it going in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt. TheRaiderland.com is where you start your day. We'll give you the question of the day. Raiderland hot links, cool stuff. We figure if we like it, you're going to like it. Good way to start the day. Brought to you by The Reserve, a culinary tavern in Lubbock, 103rd and Quaker. If you're looking for a great brunch place, Saturday, Sunday, you're looking for The Reserve. And if you're looking to catch all the games, it's not a sports bar, but they show the games, and it's got a great atmosphere in there, an ambiance, and the acoustics are amazing. You can hear yourself think. You can hear the music. You can actually hear the commentators when they put the games on. It's The Reserve. Tell them we sent you. Also by Pete's Tire Service in Ropesville, Texas. If you travel around the South Plains, you need to have Pete's on your speed dial on your phone. They will come to you. I mean, from heavy equipment, big trucks, farm stuff. Our farmers around here, they know that. You might not know that they will come to you and work on your little old car or your little old truck and fix it up and get you on the road. Pete's Tire Service, they're amazing people, all right? So put it in your phone and get it going. All right, let's do it tonight. Where do we want to start off this evening? Softball, as we said, gunning for a Big 12 title this weekend. We said this morning in the column, we've never typed that before, and we typed that today for the first time. It's pretty simple for softball. Win 1 against Arizona State, you clinch a tie. Win 2, you win the Big 12. You win the Big 12, you're going to host NCAA tournament. I don't care where the RPI is. The Big 12 regular season champion will host in the NCAA tournament. So now we just need to play some games. JC, good to see you there on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. Everybody watching this, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead, knock it out. Get in there. Don't cost nothing, and you can enjoy everything we do. Yeah, we're going to be safe. It's been typical spring weather around here the last couple of days. You know, you've had some tornadoes out over open land, thankfully, mainly out towards that Matador area. I don't know what's going on in Matador. You guys need to clean up. Something weird's going on over there. You got weird stuff happening to you. But today it was more towards that Muleshoe Littlefield area where they had at least a radar confirmed tornado. Haven't seen anything yet damaged. Now there's been some big hail. There's been some heavy winds and everything else. But this is pretty much springtime. But we're keeping an eye on it. Everything else. All right. So one of the topics tonight: replace a word in a movie. Give us a movie title. And replace one word in the title of the movie with Lubbock. Replace happy, Lubbock, Texas. Are you talking about Happy Texas? Lubbock, Texas? Happy Texas? You know? You tell us. Then we have the NFL draft. So and I don't know what you guys want to talk about on that. We can talk about the Cowboys pick last night. which I thought getting the guard out of Alabama in Booker, I thought was a good pick. Said so on our Facebook page last night. That was a very un-Jerry Jones pick. It wasn't all that sexy. You could have had Golden at receiver. You could have done it. But you know what you need? You need offensive linemen desperately. You need offensive linemen. And if you take an offensive lineman at that pick, you're probably going to get a guy who can start in the league 3 to 5 years. At guard, at center, who knows? Did you draft a dominant left tackle? No, you don't have to have dominant left tackles. You just got to have really good offensive linemen. And you've got to have good offensive linemen if you're the Cowboys going forward, because you've got one more year, I think, of Dak Prescott. You need to get the line right. And this is not a Jerry Jones pick. This is a very prescient, smart, we're doing good things going forward pick. You got to get the line right before you get the quarterback. You can't build the line after the quarterback. Get the line right first, then get the quarterback. CJ, have missed listening this week, but follow the rewind. Glad you guys can check it out. That's the main thing. That's one of the things I love about doing this. If you can be on live, we want to hear from you and get your comments in on the United Supermarkets chat line. But if not, you can go back and watch the reline. So tonight, most Texan thing you've done this week. Every Friday we do that. But specifically tonight, take a movie title. Sub out one word from the title of the movie and insert Lubbock. Give me some good ones. Give me some fun ones on that. We are into day 2 of the draft. And I thought I had that queued up. I apologize. I guess I've got it on another. Yeah, there we go. So the Texans go with the wideout from Iowa State, Jaden Higgins, with their pick. Do we have a Shedeur Sanders pick yet? No, we do not. How far will he fall? And that was part of the big story yesterday, obviously. It was part of the big news yesterday out of the NFL draft. And it was interesting to watch. And Mel Kiper is just getting crucified today because he took it personally after pumping and gunning Shedeur Sanders for the last month as being a top 5 pick. I mean, he is who he is. But there is an interesting question that how did the so-called experts in the NFL draft pundits have it one way? That Shedeur Sanders is going to be this pick, top second quarterback after Cam Ward, all this stuff, and then it falls so far. Did they want that to happen? Were they pumping and gunning? And that's a stock term, if you know stock brokerage and anything else about pumping and gunning a stock on TV. Why were they doing that? You know? Why did they do that? Now, if Shedeur Sanders' name was Jeremy Johnson, the word would have been holds on to the ball too long, has a horrible sack to pressure ratio, doesn't throw underneath very well, shallow game, and he's not real big, and quite frankly, not really good in space. All of those knocks were legitimate. I submit to you, though, that at the end of the day, it was also a perfect excuse for many people around the National Football League that are my age or 10 years older, that are calling the shots now, that are in their 50s or 60s, that are running the draft rooms, that are running the NFL organizations that have been around the league for 30 some odd years, that it was a chance to give Deion Sanders the middle finger. It was a career achievement award for Deion Sanders, for all the people that hated Deion Sanders in the NFL. They hated him in 1990, in 95, in 2000. They don't like him in college. And they didn't like the way he positioned his son. And what you saw yesterday, to me, was every NFL franchise, not in collusion, but in singular unison, given the opportunity to say, one, we don't think this guy's really that good at quarterback. And two, we get the satisfaction of giving Deion the finger on draft day. Fair or unfair to his son, doesn't really matter. It's business now. Remember, Dion, it's not friendness, it's bidness. So, there we are. Miami just moved up 10 spots to get an inferior guard. All right. And the party can start now. I am assuming this has to do with the NFL draft in day 2 and not maybe tech softball and tech baseball, which I think we've got a ways to go before we get there. We are in a weather delay on both games for those who are just tuning in. Texas Tech softball, a win tonight. They clinch tie for the Big 12 title. Win 2 games this weekend. They're set. So it's Friday night. Glad you're here. Most Texan thing you have done this week. That's every Friday night. We're asking you to give us this tonight. Take a movie title. Replace one word with Lubbock and give me something creative and fun. The Lubbock Redemption. You know, Forest Lubbock. You get the idea. Have a little fun with that. We can do something. Otherwise, just tell us the most Texan thing you've done. With Tech baseball tonight, Mac Hewer scheduled to get the start. Do we have lineups out there? Yeah, okay. Mac Hewer getting the start. Do I have a Tech batting order yet? Let's take a look here. And indeed we do. So the batting orders are up. So Lopez is going to lead off, where he has hit over 400, I believe, this year in the leadoff spot. Thompson, then Hughes, Bravo, Saviteri in the DH spot tonight. Villeneuve at first, Rivers behind the plate. Peyton Schultz gets a start at third base. This guy, so Peyton Schultz is an interesting story right now here as we go into late April. He gets the start Saturday. I want to say Sunday, but Saturday in Game 3 at Arizona. He gets the start and he goes bonkers. And he comes back on Monday. Remember Monday? Tech played on Monday against Abilene Christian, and they beat the tar out of him, and everything was good, and he looked good. Then all of a sudden, Peyton Schultz has shown up and is one of these things that we talk about with Tech baseball right now, that what you're looking for Texas Tech baseball is bits and pieces and bright spots that you can cobble together for 4 days in May, because to make the NCAA tournament, you've got to win 4 straight games in May, starting May 21st at the Big 12 tournament. Single elimination tournament this year. The top 12 teams make it. We assume Tech is going to make it. So what can you find right now that makes you think this team can be good enough to have a shot? And all of a sudden, Peyton Schultz is one of those guys. Lopez at the top, solidifying. You figure you got some things in through there. And whenever we get started out at Danlaw Field tonight, Mac Hewer's got to figure out a way to, can we pitch into the 3rd inning? That would be nice. That would be really nice. St. Petty has looked good for you here recently, but Mac, you got to give him something going forward. Glenn, fast times at Lubbock High. Leader in the clubhouse right there. That's what we're talking about. High quality stuff. Take one word out of a movie, replace it with Lubbock. Give me something. Fast times at Lubbock High. That's good. For my Lubbock High friends, you know what I'm talking about. David Collier, who just got done being on TV, KMAC 28 sports director, lives for questions like this. He can do entire radio shows on stuff like this. Lubbock framed Roger Rabbit. Bastards. You know? David jumping in. Our Facebook is strong. YouTube's been there tonight. Where are our Twitter people tonight? I want my Twitter people jumping in on the United Supermarkets chat line, the one supermarket that supports Texas Tech. There's another one that, sends money down south. It's the end of April. Bob Wheels weekend and Dodging Tornadoes weekend. Let the party begin. Yeah. I mean, it's late April. It's what we do. Not minimizing it. Certainly not mocking it. You guys know I respect and trust. Nobody respects the weather more than me and Chris Beard. I'm telling you right now. Nobody respects the weather more than me and Chris Beard. I don't want that. You give me that. Yeah, cue up that one. See what we're doing. Still got that big old blob up there north of Levelland, and everything else is starting to morph out a little bit. Yeah. It is showing signs of running out of energy, which is exactly what we thought. Meanwhile, south of Hobbs, if we're going to get any rain in my neck of the woods, coming up the Brownfield Highway, see, I'm looking at this thing right now. That might hold together after dark and give us a little bit of something. Nothing horrible. It's just normal weather, right? I don't know if we've got any viewers out there at Rocky Johnson or at Danlaw Field tonight, but check in, let us know how it's going. David, again, National Lampoon's Lubbock Vacation. I'd watch that movie. In fact, I'm kind of shocked they never made that movie. That one should have got made. Dan, Lubbock everywhere and all at once. You take one word out of a movie title, you replace it with Lubbock. Also, you can tell us the most Texan thing you've done tonight. If you want to talk Tech baseball, we can. Tech softball, we can. This has a chance to be. I hope they get this game in tonight for softball because Arizona State's pitcher, she's like number 2 in the country in strikeouts. Has got like a 1 point something ERA. Was it Brown? Chrissy Brown? That doesn't sound right. Good grief. Come on. Give me something. Did I already click off the? Oh, come on. I thought I had that still up. Anyways. So their pitcher is like way legit. You got Nigel Kennedy, who pitched 17 of 18 innings last week against Arizona. Why not? That's why you hired her. That's why you're paying her $1 million. Right? Tonight's game, if they play it, all they need is about 45 minutes, it looks like. JC, who would star in Best Little ... in Lubbock? Are you talking about Best Little Whorehouse in Lubbock? Probably a local politician or two. Shuck before Sanders. Do we have that? Is the pick in? Tyler Shuck goes to the Saints out of Louisville via Texas Tech, via Oregon. Shuck before Sanders. Breaking news. We need one. Dun, 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 dun. And I think Shuck can be. I thought Shuck could have come out 2 years ago. He wasn't going to get any better in college, and all college did was expose tape on him in games where the game gets a little too fast and it speeds up for him. The best thing Shuck could have done, I think, a year or two ago, was go to the combine and just work out all the time because the dude is a workout warrior. I think he will be a serviceable NFL backup / sometime starter. But he is 100% a workout warrior. But he goes before Sanders. How about that? Nope, we are no longer here. This broadcast has been terminated. We will join you tomorrow. But the broadcast is no longer here. Shuck before Sanders. I wonder what if you could have designed your own prop, NFL draft props and stuff. You know, if you could have designed that, I wonder what that prop would have been. Shuck before Sanders. I mean, it would have been plus. God, a week ago, 5 days ago, 3 days ago, we're probably talking like plus 500. You know, easily. Yet here we are. David jumping back in on our Facebook line. You can get in thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. Shuck is a Danny White. Oh, said it out loud. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry. Craig Morton type. No, I hate to say this, but both those guys are really, really good NFL quarterbacks, and I don't see Tyler Shuck being that. Again, not marginal. I was thinking today, I was driving down the road in the truck, and I was like, Tyler Shuck, Mitch Trubisky. that Mitch Trubisky blew away scouts, blew away in workouts because he knew what was coming. He knew what was happening in the workouts and that things were scripted and everything else. But when you got into real time play, it didn't translate. And Mitch Trubisky, not the only one that this happens to. This happens to a lot of quarterbacks. That I feel like Shuck is kind of that way. That he also, at least at Texas Tech, and I admit I didn't watch him that much, Louisville, his risk aversion of throwing into traffic or throwing anything that wasn't what he thought was a low risk pass is just not going to serve, too well in the NFL. But as a backup, his backup is fantastic. Kyle Rogers, our realtor in Raiderland, our man at Remax, he's got an open house tomorrow. And right now he should be doing the PA, public address, there at Rocky Johnson Field for Texas Tech softball. But instead we're in a weather delay. It wasn't good when he was here. What makes them think he can play in the NFL? He wasn't bad while he was here. It wasn't great while he was here. Again, great athlete, looks good, and the NFL goes on measurables. And here's the deal. There, I got a little, it's right there. 9 out of 10 NFL coaches think they can fix players. They do. They think if I can just get my hand on him, I can straighten that guy out. I can fix that guy. I can only think of one quarterback coming out of college that the NFL radically changed, either completion percentage or otherwise, and he's playing in Buffalo right now. That's the only one. Shuck, a Dan McGuire, not a Mark McGuire, a Dan McGuire out of that 1991 draft. Brownie Nagel, Dan McGuire. Oh, Lord, horrible draft for quarterbacks that year. I could have come out early that year, been in the draft. It would have been great. I would have had a shot. Most Texan thing that you have done this week. Every Friday, we always ask you that. The world needs more Texan things being done. You guys need to do it. We're also having a little fun tonight. You can take any movie title, replace one word out of the movie title with the word Lubbock. Give me something fun. We're in a weather delay for both baseball and softball. Softball, 1 win away from clinching the Big 12 championship in the regular season, just like we all thought. 2 wins against Arizona State from taking it outright. NFL draft underway. Cowboy fans, I think you should be pleased with the Booker pick last night. I really think you should. I think that's a solid pick, and it allows you to begin to get the offensive line right before you get rid of Dak Prescott next year and move on to your next quarterback, whoever that may be. Texans, well, they just now got a pick here in the first round or second round today, so not much doing on the Texans. And then, beyond that, everybody was talking about how yesterday was a boring first round. There wasn't any drama. There wasn't any, I guess, to me, most NFL drafts are that way. I don't so much watch the draft as I follow the draft, but I don't sit there locked into the TV coverage. I just, every few minutes, just tell me, okay, who picked who and what did they get them at? Okay, all right, good. I mean, if you've been paying attention up to this time, then you probably know some of the players, unlike many of the people on ESPN who apparently don't know a lot about the players. They should have all of the college network analysts on, by the way, for the NFL draft. They know more about the players than the NFL guys do, the NFL commentators, but that's beside the point. But to me, it's not a riveting show other than when a pick is made. So everything in between, why would I want to watch? Then there are people talking about, I can't believe they're having it in Green Bay. But you ain't going to have the Super Bowl in Green Bay, so you might as well throw them a bone and have it out there. Crowds today look pretty good. I think they're getting rain. I'm a moderate Green Bay Packer fan these days still. Aaron Rodgers did everything he could to suck the life out of me when it comes to enjoying the Green Bay Packers. But yeah, so the people saying, hey, it's a boring draft, it's a whatever, you know, okay. Craig jumping in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Heard that Sanders created a special room for his draft moment. He gets to use it 2 days in a row. Yes, he did. That is factual. It has like legend or legendary up behind him. He had the special chain. He did everything he could to give everybody a reason to hate on him. Hate on him. Hate him. Haterade. Kind of hate, you know. As we said earlier, I think yesterday was actually a career achievement for him and his dad. That if he wasn't named Sanders, that if you looked at tape and everything else, every NFL team had every reason not to draft him in the first round. It just made it extra special for so many people in the league to take Deion Sanders' son, and by extension Deion Sanders, and give him a finger and say, didn't like you then, don't like you now, watch this. Is that petty? I don't know. There you go. Lubbock girls are easy. Draft at good pace, which helped. All right, so there was a movie in the 80s called Earth Girls Are Easy. And I cannot remember who was in it. Gina Davis? No, that's not right. That's not right. Was Gina Davis and Howard the Duck? What about Lubbock the Duck? Lubbock the Duck instead of Howard the Duck. Yeah, Earth Girls Are Easy. Good job, JC. That is a B, C level list movie that I'm not even sure David Collier would have pulled that one out. I applaud you. Getting in tonight, every Friday, Most Texan Thing you've done this week. I washed my truck on Tuesday thinking it would help it rain. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember which now. Didn't help. At least not here, not at my place. How are we doing looking at the radar? Going back to the official radar for theraiderland.com. And come on now. Look at it. Yeah, it's farting around up there right where I thought. It's going to run out at around 114. The bigger story is down to our southwest and what's brewing up out of Hobbs and everything else coming up the Brownfield Highway, which is probably about an hour and a half or 2 hours away on that front. Now, if they all get together, we have an MSC complex. You ever had an MSC complex, David Collier? Is there another kind? Now, that line could get kind of interesting, but it's going to peter out on it. Craig, Jeff Goldblum, and Jim Carrey are in it, talking about Earth Girls Are Easy. I don't even if you had to Google that, I applaud you for getting in before we get out of here and jumping in there. Robert jumps in on our YouTube channel, Ryan Heiss Raiderland on YouTube. Most Texan Thing, watch the NFL draft. Is that really a Texan thing? Is it really? Maybe. I don't know. Look at how it's recalled. Yes, Gina Davis was in it. Okay. The enchanting Gina Davis. Kind of gangly, a little bit, kind of big. Not in a fat way, just, Gina Davis. Great 80s brunette hair, Gina Davis. Thank you all. I should retire on that note at this point. Can't do much better than that probably on a Friday night. I was hoping we would be talking about, at this point, the softball game being in about the 4th inning, the way it's going. TJ Sanders out of South Carolina goes to Buffalo. Mason Taylor, LSU tight ends, drafted tight ends. Where are we? Come on, what are we doing? Who's coming up? Oh, Cowboys are just 2 picks away. Alfred Collins out of Texas going to San Francisco, and the Cowboys are on the clock now with the 44th pick of the draft, the 12th pick of the second round. This is where we'll hang around and see what the Cowboys pick does. This is where you could go. You can come back and get somebody in the offense if you want to try to get a receiver or whatever. Receivers to me are a dime a dozen if you get them right. Craig, sad thing is I knew it without Google. Going back to Earth Girls Are Easy. No, I think that's a great thing. I think it's fantastic that you knew that without it. So we'll see what the Cowboys do. We'll get real instant reaction to the Cowboys pick in just mere moments. In mere moments, we will find out where the Cowboys go with pick number 2, which is basically as important anymore in the NFL as pick number 1. I'm on record telling you guys I like their pick of Booker in the first round. 9 times out of 10, if you take a legitimate first round level offensive lineman, you're going to have a guy who's going to play for you 3 to 5 years. That's really good. I mean, start, not play, start. Walk in and start. JC, Gina Davis, baseball player, close to softball. True. Good All-American girls softball and everything. All right. Where are we missing here? Anything on the draft? Don't let it slide past me. Going back to our Twitter feed really quick, just to make sure. Just to make sure we're not missing anything out here. One to former NFL general manager Andrew Brandt. Tyler Shuck can spin it. Talking about former Red Raider getting drafted. Andrew Brandt, formerly with the Green Bay Packers. Sorry, I'm going through a Twitter feed right now. Just seeing if I got anything we had missed. Okay. Let's go back to that. How many minutes do they get in the second round? How many do they get? Boys, no running back yet. I wouldn't take a running back until like the 4th round. Period. End of sentence. There's no running back that I would take before the 4th round at all in the NFL right now. Given the nature of the league, no matter how much you want to run the football and everything else, just I wouldn't do it. But what if they're the next Christian McCaffrey? Don't care. Doesn't really matter that much. You still got time. You can get in. Take a movie title, replace one word in it, insert Lubbock. All right. See what you can come up with. I figured I should have texted this to David Collier earlier, and he would have had 20 ready to go. I apologize, David, for not doing that. My point, 2/5 with Tosh name on one. I mean, Brooks, I think will go in the 5th or 6th. We'll see. Lubbock and the Bandit. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. All right, so I'm looking on ESPN.com's homepage. Follow live. Saints take quarterback Tyler Shuck over Sadur Sanders. ESPN is just losing their mind on this, aren't they? You know? 310 to Lubbock, starring Dan Blocker. There you go. Pride of O'Donnell, Texas. Go down, see the Dan Blocker Museum. I don't know. Do they still have a museum or anything there? Do they? Still waiting on the Cowboys pick. What do they got? They got like 5 minutes or something in the second round? You can't remember. It ought to be like a fantasy draft. You got like 2 minutes. Really? You got 2 minutes to get this done. Why are we taking all day? Get the pick in. Make a freaking pick. Gone with the Lubbock. Sarcasm Hyatt. Is that a movie? I don't think that's a movie. I'm not sarcastic. There is no sarcasm. There is no sarcasm here. All right, we're 4 minutes into extra time. Lubbock with the wind. Yeah. Still waiting to see the pick come up. Come on, ESPN. Give me something. The delay is too much. The internet is much faster than just trying to watch the buffered broadcast on YouTube or anything else that we would be watching right now. And there we go. Out of Boston College, edge rusher Donovan Izreku. I can't even say his name. But 6'3", 248 out of Boston College. Oh, here's the write-up. A slippery and rangy edge defender, ranked second in FBS in sacks in 24, 6, and 5. He's undersized for the edge, but his long arms make it tougher for blockers to lock onto him. I believe I dated a woman like that one time. All right, there we go. So we got the pick. Okay, good. Like that. That's good. Lubbock in the rain. Raising Lubbock. Eminently funnier. I'll go all night, says JC. Teenage Mutant Ninja Prairie Dogs. Secret of the Lubbock. Good deal. All right, Cowboy fans, what do you edge rush? We good with that? You all right with that? Again, offensive line, defensive front, get right up front. Edge rusher, what do you need to do? Who do you need to pressure? Who do you need to beat to get into the playoffs? Let's walk through this real quick. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, who do you need to beat to get into the playoffs? And you have 4 games against them right now. What do they have and what do they do well? And who are their better players? What do you have to do? Out of your division to get what do you got to do to get in? Born in 74. Now as a Red Raider, and it's been done lately to finally see. Fun lately to finally see. Good stuff at Tech. Good to know. Glad you're out there. So what do you got to do if you're a Cowboy fan? What do you got to do? Who do you got to beat? How do you got to beat them? You got to beat Philadelphia and you got to beat Washington now. And you've got 2 quarterbacks that you got to pressure, you got to heat up. That's a good pick. You also have a horrible offensive line right now that has to get better, or you can't protect your quarterback, and you can't do anything. So both picks are good picks within the division, in my opinion, right off the bat, to help you try to at least get into the playoffs. Good picking so far, Jared. Don't get cute. Oh, you know they will at some point. Like the 5th round. The 5th round, they're going to let them do it. The best little whorehouse in Lubbock. Leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. All right, we're looking around at the weather right now. Hey, if David Collier is still with us, are you out at Rocky Johnson or not? Or Dan Long for that matter, but I figured all the media would be out there covering a chance to get a part of the title tonight. My radar is showing it just kind of spreading out and wimping out, but maybe going to touch north Lubbock. But the severity of it seems to be dropping down. Then we got the line of storms that are still out there around Hobbs and the state line that are coming up that way. I don't know. We might not get anything in tonight. One last comment. I'm shocked Tyler Shuck is a 2nd-round pick. I'm not. Workout warrior. He was that way at Oregon. That's why Texas Tech brought him in. And at Texas Tech, he was a workout warrior, and that's why they kept putting him out there on the field. And that's why he went to Louisville, and he has had measurables and everything. He looks like on tape everything you would want an NFL quarterback to look like. You know? There was a guy like that who played for Texas Tech about 15 years ago out of Abilene. Same type deal. But it gave you a chance to say shocked and shuck in the same deal. We had a lot of fun today. We're going to be with you tomorrow. We're going to be out at the Silver Spur Trade Show, the Lubbock Gun and Blade Show at the Civic Center. We're going to be out there from 1 to 2 broadcasting, so drop on by the Civic Center, hang out, have some fun. After that, maybe Diamond Talk later on in the day. but probably a Sunday wrap up on Texas Tech softball and baseball. Everybody be safe out there. Have some fun. We're going to post this. I ask you to do one thing for us. Share it with your friends. Put it out there on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so. Get us over 500. Follow us on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media and on our Facebook page. A lot of folks already on there for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Easy to do. We appreciate you being out there. And now let's just see if we can get some softball and baseball in tonight. Have a great evening and get ready to rock and roll. But we're going to post this at theraiderland.com in a little bit. You can share it there, and we appreciate you doing that for all of our wonderful sponsors like United Supermarkets tonight on the chat line. Our presenting sponsors tonight, Pete's Tire Service out of Roseville, Texas. They come to you. They work on your vehicle where it is, where that flat is, and the Reserve, the Culinary Tavern, 103rd and Quaker. Best brunch in town, absolutely hands down. You ought to make your reservation for Saturday or Sunday right now. We'll see you on Twitter tonight at Ryan Hyatt Media and then on the site, theraiderland.com.